We have a ton of great information for all of you today, so thanks for tuning in. As a reminder, this session will be recorded and sent out to your emails afterwards. So if you missed anything, don't worry. You can always refer back to the video. Throughout the session, you may also submit questions through the Q&A feature, as the chat feature will be turned off. We will do our best to answer your questions throughout the webinar. We do have representatives standing by to answer questions, so please use the Q&A chat. Please note though, if you are asking a question about a specific program, please include that in your question so that we can provide the best answer for you.
Great. So just take a look at today's agenda. We're going to start off talking about online degrees. It's kind of why we're all here. Then we're going to walk through PBA, what it is, and how you can get started. Finally, we'll go through some of the universities that offer PBA, PBA FAQs, and then we'll take some time at the end to answer some of your questions. And as a reminder, we submitted some questions when we registered, and those will kind of be peppered in throughout the presentation too.
Before we jump in though, before we get to the crux of PBA, we have a quick survey. Are you considering getting a degree online? I'll give you a couple of minutes to respond. How are we doing, Victoria? Do we have a fair amount of responses?
Yeah, it seems like there's quite a lot of
I always
people.
get excited about this.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and end the poll. It seems like there's quite a few. Pretty much everyone is thinking about it or thinking about it in the next 12, 24 months. So I'll end that poll and share those results.
All right, I can see them here. Well, that's excellent, right? And soon too, in the next 12 months. So people are already, making their financial plans. I love that. So we're going to do another poll, right, Victoria? We have another one coming in.
Yep, one
Great.
more.
So if you answered yes to the previous question, what, if anything, is stopping you from taking the leap and applying? Okay. What's going to prevent you from starting in the next 12 to 24 months?
Yeah, this is a common one. I'm seeing the answers come in now. I'm going to close it out in just a couple seconds. Got about half of the group responding at this point.
Our people are clicking away, huh? That's great. I love it. I mean, people are engaged. That's a good sign.
All right, closing out now.
Ooh, look at this. Okay. Cost, time commitment, interesting. These results are typical. It can often be tough to afford the time and tuition of higher education, right? That makes sense, right? We need the time and we also need the money. So that's interesting. That's great information. In fact, your answers were similar to some that we've seen from other learners, okay? According to a 2024 NASFA report or NASFAA report, 85% of adults who either dropped out or never enrolled in a higher education program said an important reason why they weren't currently enrolled is because of the cost of the degree program or credential program, like a graduate certificate. Okay. To take it a step further, our internal research has led us to discover that both cost and time commitment are two of the top barriers for our learners when considering a program. So yeah, I think PBA might be helpful with this. What do you think, Victoria?
I think so. And then just in general, we have a quick slide about online degrees and their flexibility and their affordability, because that's what they're actually best known for. And in fact, online learners, majority of them are working professionals. So for those of you who are considering getting your degree, like we saw from those polls, but if you're struggling to find the time, just keep in mind that 60% of online learners, they work full time. And with the rate of acceptance for online degrees only growing each year, this is a flexible and affordable way for you to keep level up your learning and advance your career. Then we saw cost was concerned for a lot of people, right? Like this is super common, something that Carolyn and our enrollment team hear all the time. So keep in mind that most online degree programs hosted on Coursera allow for pay as you go tuition. And a lot of them accept federal funding too. There's also often options for prior learning credit, helping you to potentially like save on those tuition costs. So once you know which program you're interested in, visit the degree page, and then under that financing tab, you can learn more about specific financing for that degree program. And finally, online degrees are increasingly more and more accepted by employers, especially post-pandemic when a lot of people were doing their degrees online. In fact, there's a study done by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, and it was found that 87.4% of employers actually hired new graduates with an online degree in 2024. And then to take that a step further, 100% of those employers paid their online degree hires the same as any traditional graduate from like an in-person program. So that means that like an online degree student is not only more and more common to find and find employment post-grad, but in terms of pay parity, you'll most likely be compensated the same as any other traditional in-person graduate.
Wow, those are some really high numbers there for especially being hired with an online degree. That impresses me. And also, as we saw from our poll, many of the people we have on today are interested in online degree program, right? I think everyone here is interested in online education. So awesome, you're in the right spot. This short video, we're going to show a short video, shows a few learners like you who are simply doing regular courses on Coursera until they discovered online degrees. Maybe you got a pop-up when you were taking a class, like this could account towards credit, for example. So I have a feeling that's why you're here, and we're going to explain how that all works. While not all of the programs in this video that we're about to show offer PBA, all of these learners took the next step in their learning journey and enrolled in one of our top online degrees. So let's take a look.
Because I had taken some Coursera classes in the past.
Actually, I've been using Coursera since 2021.
Because I'd been doing short courses on Coursera.
I started doing MOOCs.
It was just a perfect fit for what I do, and exactly what I needed. And it was pretty much the only program I could like justify to my wife.
So I've tried all these other different schools, like online schools, different programs. So far, Coursera is my favorite.
This really inspired me and gave me the confidence to take the next step.
If it wasn't for Coursera and like that email, and then also Ryan West's help, I would definitely not be in the program.
I believe in continuous learning, lifelong learning, and so I wanted to make sure that I was doing something that was productive and kept my mind going, because I found myself watching a lot more TV than I used to.
I'm an entrepreneur, former Navy entrepreneur, and now Dartmouth student. So.
At the University of Colorado Boulder.
HEC.
University of Illinois.
Awesome. That was a nice shout out to Ryan West, who maybe this is a good time to say we do have 4 enrollment representatives who are on besides Carolyn today, who will be helping out with that Q&A. So please be patient with them. They're going to get to your questions as soon as they can, but a reminder to please include the program or the degree that you're interested in when you submit those questions. And Ryan West himself, who was just mentioned in that video, is on here helping out. So thank you all for being here. Awesome. We have one more quick poll just as we move into the next portion of our presentation. And the question is, how familiar are you with PBA? So on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being super familiar and then 1 not being really familiar at all. And either one is fine or any in between, but let us know.
Oh, I like this question. I want to see what, PBA, that's not a common acronym, right? So let's see what we get here. Let's see how people are. Let's see who has already done their homework. That's what we're going to find out right now. Let's see.
Awesome. Cool. Seems like we're leaning definitely one direction over the other, which is a good one.
All
for the
right.
beginning of the
People have done their
presentation.
homework.
Not quite. It seems like most folks here are leaning towards the 1, which means you're in the right spot, and we're definitely going to learn a lot today. Hopefully it's more towards the 4 or maybe 5 by the end of the presentation.
Yeah, we might need to redo this poll. We'll see if we're going to redo
No,
it.
we should have done it again at the end.
You know what? Next time. Or maybe there won't be a next time because everybody will get it, right? All right.
Awesome. Yeah, and the next slide basically just defines PBA or performance-based admissions. So since that's the reason we're all here today, let's just straight up define it. PBA or performance-based admissions is an alternative admissions pathway for degree programs that allows students to prove their readiness through academic performance rather than the traditional application requirements like standardized test scores, transcripts, essays, GMAT, GRE, things like that. So in most cases for online degrees with Coursera, this means you can simply enroll in a few like degree aligned courses, pass with a B or better, which that does change per the school, per the program, and then gain entry right into the degree program online. And it really is pretty simple, but we want to make sure we walk you through it step by step today. But obviously you don't want to just take it from me. We have a great enrollment team here at Coursera, and let's hear, so we actually took the time to interview them and see how they would define PBA and how they best make it clear to the learners they work with. So let's hear from them.
PBA is a pretty cool acronym that we use here at Coursera that refers to performance-based admissions.
Basically a show, don't tell approach to earning your spot in a degree program,
where your work counts as your pathway into the program.
You can gain access on Coursera Plus.
If they meet the required standards for the program itself and the performance-based admission courses, they can get admissions to the actual program afterwards.
So it can definitely shorten the process, and it can certainly allow somebody to prove their readiness for a program through actually doing it.
You're performing, showing them that you can handle the content of the curriculum, and therefore you're coming into the program as an accepted student.
The biggest benefit of doing a PBA, it's going to be that it makes you getting into a degree program much simpler.
Normally for graduate applications, you have to take like a test like the GRE or GMAT. Those tests are super expensive. Oftentimes with these PBA applications, you don't have to do that.
It definitely helps candidates that are looking for a change in careers or would like to bypass the traditional application process, like submitting a GMAT, GRE scores, or a traditional transcript.
So if you didn't have the best grade point average in your undergraduate degree, it normally doesn't matter. Many of our learners have been out of school for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and the performance-based admissions courses allows them to see if they can do it, prove that they can do it, and give them the confidence to finish that degree.
People are surprised by how quick and straightforward this process is to get started.
You don't have to do extra coursework, and you not only gain admission, but those actually count towards your degree from the start.
These are typically part of their master's or bachelor's degree programs credit hours.
And with that, you're going to be taught by your instructors that are actually in your course.
It gives them a snapshot of the future of the program with the other courses they'll be taking, gives them a nice introduction.
Being able to succeed in a program, it gives them the confidence that proves their ability to be ready.
Most students that are seeing this for the first time are just kind of thinking, is this real?
A learner that was looking to changing careers, and they were very frustrated because they were looking into doing a computer science degree, but they were in liberal arts, right? So their odds of getting accepted into a regionally accredited university, such as the ones that we cater here at Coursera, are very slim after I explained that you can actually do some of these classes as a non-credit hour course through the Coursera subscription. That was very appealing to him. Was able to actually start it off that way, and then after that converted it into credit hour courses and was able to continue with his master's program after being accepted.
A great first step is going to simply be to gather information. You can connect with one of the enrollment reps on Coursera to ask questions, or you can explore the degree pages that we have on our website.
Look into the content of the curriculum. Look into that curriculum for one, to ensure that you will enjoy what you're learning, and does it check those boxes for you?
Try it out with Coursera Plus.
Trust the process. Trust the process. Give yourself your chance. demonstrate your ability, work hard.
Started off as a non-credit hour option. I mean, it's not every day that Coursera gives you the opportunity to, or any institution for that matter, for you to be able to start it off as a non-credit hour course.
Utilize Coursera, skill up in certain areas, and also take those courses knowing full well that you're confident and ready to take on the challenge.
I mean, you may be actually surprised yourself with how ready you are to take on this new journey, more than you initially thought about.
Hi, my name is Marcos Irizarry.
Ada Rodriguez.
Ruben Delgado.
My name is Sarah Trail.
Carolyn Carpenter.
My name is Ryan West.
My name is Tom LeBron. I'm an enrollment representative here at Coursera.
Awesome. Yeah, well, there you have it. I mean, a lot of these enrollment reps are actually on the call today, so you're not, going to be met with any kind of, obviously, all very nice people. They're very excited to help you. And I just actually went ahead and dropped a booking link in the chat. So we're going to get way more in depth into PBA and what it is. But by the end of this presentation, if you're like, oh, I still have some questions, or I'm not sure between, a Boulder program or a University of London program, you're not sure about the next steps, book a meeting. So click that link and any of our enrollment reps are happy to help you out. Great.
All right, great. You know what? Now that we've heard from our enrollment team, I work with an excellent team. I enjoy it every day. And like Victoria said, they're here answering your questions in the background. But now we've heard from them. Let's hear from an actual graduate of the program that offers PBA. His name is Abija Masava, recent graduate of Illinois Tech's Master of Information Technology, Master of IT program. Talks about how PBA can be beneficial for two kinds of learners, okay? Number one, learners who are newer to the subject and want to get a feel for the skills they need. And number two, learners who are already professionals but may want a refresher before taking their academic knowledge to the next level, okay? And I'd like to add a third type of person also. There's a third type of learner that PBA is also good for. Someone who is interested in jumping right into a streamlined process. To me, this is the beauty of PBA, how streamlined it is. You can skip the GREs, writing essays, getting recommendations from your employers or former professors that you might not know anymore or have contact with. So as the quote says, someone interested in an opportunity to get a taste to what's to come in the program. So you're just involved in that streamline and you get right to the meat and potatoes of the program that you plan to graduate from.
Awesome. This is our last video. I know it's a little video heavy in the beginning of the presentation here, but this is the last one and it might, no offense, the enrollment reps, this one might be my favorite. The final quick video is just two PBA learners, Mo and Mark, who I had the pleasure of speaking with over the course of their time through their degree programs. They're very different learners, you'll learn from them. Mo joined PBA just 3 years after completing his undergraduate degree, where Mark began his master's program with nearly 4 decades of professional experience. So very different stages of life, but PBA was impactful for both of them. So their stories really do showcase that incredible range of learners that can benefit from PBA. Both of them enrolled in PBA programs. Mo through the University of Pittsburgh's Data Science program, Master of Data Science, and Mark in the MS of Computer Science at the University of Colorado Boulder. Both excellent universities, offer degrees on Coursera or in partnership. And you'll hear how despite their very different backgrounds, they both value the flexibility of PBA and what it has to offer. So a huge thank you to Mo and Mark for meeting with me and sharing their journeys. And congratulations to them on excelling in their programs, both while working full-time. So let's take a look.
My name is Mo Obedah, and I am a PBA admitted student at the University of Pittsburgh.
My name is Mark Setter, and I am a PBA admitted student at the University of Colorado Boulder. It was probably back in 1993 or maybe 1994.
It was 3 years, after my last class.
I kind of put my education on hold for my career because my career was going crazy at the time with the whole .com evolution and everything that was happening in IT. And so I promised myself back then that eventually, when my career slowed down, I would go back and finish off my degree and get my degree. And my career never slowed down.
I chose Pitt's online program because it worked well with my schedule, as well as the school like major reputation. You know, it's a famous school across the U.S.
I did some online searches, and sure enough, I found the performance-based admissions, and it was a hand in glove moment where I realized this is exactly what I've been looking for and what I've been waiting for.
You know, if you're working full time, if you have a family, it's like really helpful when it's on your own time.
And then, you know, I can put things on pause when I get interrupted. My son comes in and he wants to sit down and chat about something that he was having a challenge with in school that day. Being able to just immediately hit that pause button and then maybe resume 5 minutes later, maybe resume 5 days later.
It really helped out. Like it went on all the basics you need, then it went up and up, like until you reached like you can do your own project. So I think by week 4 or 5, you were up to speed. Like whether you were an arts major, music major, really.
The 3 networking classes that I've taken, it feels like I've been taking those classes for 40 years now. And so for me, those particular classes, I just tore through the material so fast because it was absolutely something that I'd been doing on a daily basis at work.
Other master programs would ask you to maybe have like a GRE, scores or like that. But in this, it was just like the class you take, and if you do well, and they were able to verify your BS degree, then you're in, basically. I remember in my first cohort, there was like a lot of kids who were from like music majors or from arts majors or from like other non-coding majors.
So I was talking to people that were in the medical field, for example, and listening to a lot of different ways that they were using technology in the medical field was really interesting to me. The artificial intelligence and machine learning and that kind of technology and how that's being applied. Yeah, very cool.
And like even like for me, I was never a CS major. I was an econ major, so I was never really like big on coding. And the PBA like helped too. So the PBA, it really just gave you like the background you needed to continue in the programs. The classes I took helped me for sure in my current job. My next goal in my career is to be a full scientist or a machine learning engineer. So many classes were very, like related into the work that either you do or that you will do.
One of the things that I think is a challenge for me as an older learner is that I have the vitreous floaters. Having the ability to make my own accommodations, to grab text and change it, zoom in, zoom out. Conversely, having 40 years of experience and being able to look at a lot of material and be like, oh yeah, I know this stuff, I do it on a daily basis. And so I can move very rapidly through that material. I found it very refreshing and very flexible. So highly conducive to my environment, my schedule, and the type of accommodations that I need to make to forward my education in a very flexible way.
Cool. Yeah. So as we mentioned before, PBA is for many kinds of learners. So you heard from Mo, he was an econ major and now he's in a data science program, whereas Mark obviously has tons of experience in CS. So those PBA initial courses were a breeze for him. And we'll talk a little bit about more about that in our next couple slides.
Great. All right, now we're going to get to the crux of it, everyone. We're going to get to the meat and potatoes. As we've heard our enrollment team say, PBA is simple and can be broken down into 3 steps, okay? Just 3 steps. Once you've identified the degree that you're interested in, step 1 is to start your PBA courses online, okay? Just start. This can be done in 2 ways, okay? 2 ways, which is why you see 2 versions of step 1. But there's not 4 steps. There's only 3 steps. Trust me on this one, okay? If you just want to test out the courses or want to get ahead before classes officially start with the university, you can register for the PBA courses with your Coursera Plus membership or subscription. So that's one way, right? Which is something we'll talk about in a few minutes. If you don't know what Coursera Plus is, or the difference between Coursera and Coursera Plus, you're going to learn about that in a few minutes, right? However, if you know which degree you are ready to enroll in, you can take the PBA courses for credit right off the bat, okay? For university credit by registering directly with the university, okay? You don't need a Coursera Plus subscription. You follow the steps. You'll follow steps like setting up a student email account from the university, paying tuition, activating your new student account on the Coursera platform. Any progress you have made in a course will transfer over from your Coursera Plus account to your new university account. So you can either start directly as a university student, or you can be a Coursera Plus subscriber or a Coursera Plus learner and transfer that coursework over once you pay tuition to the university, okay? So then once you've enrolled, okay, you must achieve the required grade to have it count for entry into the program. So you do need to have a grade. Usually it's a B or better. With most US universities, for example, it's a B or better, which is a 3.0 on the US academic scale. So always keep that 3.0 in the back of your mind. You always want to be achieving a 3.0, okay? Finally, you may be asked to provide other supplementary information, which is important. Like maybe in some cases you need to prove that you have a bachelor's degree by sending your official transcripts to the university. That's just an example. All universities have different requirements. Keep that in mind, okay? And the best part is once you're enrolled, okay, this to me is like the cherry on top of PBA. Once you're enrolled, the PBA courses you took will count for credit towards your degree. So even if you started off for non-credit or if you started for credit, that course, while you're getting admitted into a program, counts towards your degree. But you do remember, just make sure you've taken and passed on any of the final assessments and paid any of the necessary fees to make sure those courses count, okay? That means there's, the best part, like I said, the cherry on top, there's no time wasted. It's streamlined, you're not wasting any time starting with these PBA courses because they will count towards your degree. Love it, it's my favorite part.
Awesome. So Carolyn just mentioned Coursera Plus. We'll just talk about that really quick. So Coursera Plus is a learning subscription that allows you to access the whole Coursera platform. I imagine a lot of you may already have this account. This will actually give you unlimited access to over 90% of our online courses, including the PBA courses that are needed to be accepted into a degree program. However, as Carolyn mentioned on the previous slide, you can do the PBA courses directly with the university or on Coursera Plus. Coursera Plus is just a great option of how to access them and also allows you to access tons of supplementary learnings to help guide your educational journey. So if you're someone like Mo, who we just heard from, who maybe has like an econ background but wants to get into data science, Coursera Plus is a great option because as you're doing your PBA courses, maybe you could take some other supplementary data science courses to kind of boost your grades to get to that 3.0 and gain admission to Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh, I should say. So feel free to start with that 7-day free trial or try it out for yourself. This should give you enough time to actually get a sneak peek of some of those PBA courses, maybe try out a few modules and see what the best fit might be for you. And once again, I have to plug our enrollment team. They're also here to guide you through the process and help make sure you're making the most of your time and your investment. Also, even if you don't take those PBA courses all the way through to a degree program, you'll still pick up new skills along the way. So there's really not time wasted when you're learning something new. Actually, 77% of our Coursera learners have reported career benefits from having taken our online courses, and that includes maybe like landing a new job, earning a promotion, gaining applicable skills. So no matter where your learning journey takes you, you'll benefit along the way.
Well, I couldn't agree more, Victoria. As a former teacher, I agree. No matter how you're learning, for credit, non-credit, your learning, and that's the most important thing. So you know what? Actually, there's no better time to sign up for Coursera Plus. Thank you for reminding me about that. We're almost near the end of the year, right? So we all have New Year's resolutions. Our New Year's goals and resolutions are around the corner, and we can all take advantage of a 40% off promotion of Coursera Plus. That's a pretty good deal, I would say, right? So you can, 40% off to jumpstart your degree, any degree that you've had your eye on, right? So visit Coursera.org. I'm sure we're going to put that in the chat there. Coursera.org to sign up and learn more. All right. So earlier in our video with the enrollment team, we heard a bit about why so many learners opt for PBA versus the traditional application process. It all breaks down into three things, okay? PBA is simple, flexible, and fast, which that's why I love the word streamlined, because it means simple, flexible, and fast, right? It is designed for the busy adult who wants to jump right into their coursework without the need for lengthy application requirements and expensive standardized tests. No one wants to spend their Saturday at a testing center. I've been there. You don't want to do it. Okay. Not to mention, some of the top degree partners some of our top degree partners allow for the PBA pathway. These include the University of Colorado Boulder. Go Buffs, right? Northeastern University, University of London. Wow, even all the way in London and more. We have more than that. To explore the full list of degrees that offer PBA, click the link in the chat. The link in the chat. I know I have a feeling Victoria is adding that right now. Perfect.
Yes, that'll be a collections page just of every degree that offers PBA. And if you click them, you'll be able to see their individual degree pages with tuition, financing, careers, student support, things like that. So feel free to browse that link there.
Excellent.
Great. And now that you've gotten the idea, hopefully, of what PBA is, let's talk about where you can find it. So like I just mentioned, that collections page that I dropped in the chat, that's a great place to start. So you can kind of browse the various universities and various programs from those universities that offer their exact same program online as they do in person. And they also offer PBA. So many of our degree partners offer this pathway. So once you determine the university program that's right for you, you'll want to navigate to that degree's homepage on Coursera. So you'll find that from that collections page in the chat. On the screen, you'll see there is an example of one of those degree description pages. Let's take this University of Pittsburgh just for example. This is a top-ranked school, and it's actually even been recently named one of Forbes 2025 new Ivies, and our friend Mo is enrolled there, as you heard him speak about earlier. Their online Master of Data Science offers performance-based admissions, and you'll find information under this tab, the Admissions tab. On the admissions page, you'll scroll down to enrollment information, which is what's there. So it might be like a scroll or two. And this is where you'll find the PBA courses listed in those white boxes. Enrollment information. And there's the white boxes. So in this case, for the Master of Data Science, there's actually only one PBA course. So it means there's one 3-credit course standing between you and your entry to this top degree program. Am I correct on that, Carolyn? It's just the one program or one PBA course? Is this one of your programs? Can I call you out on this?
I haven't worked with the University of Pittsburgh. I might be working with it soon. I would, if an enrollment representative there could answer that for Victoria. I haven't worked with it yet, but I'm excited to do so.
It sounds too good to be true. So I don't want to mislead the learners here, but I do believe it's only one.
The majority are either 2 or 3, but one could be pretty awesome.
Let's see. Yep, Katie has confirmed it's only one to get into the University of Pittsburgh. So that's pretty cool. So there are some other programs, like Carolyn said, that might be 2 or 3, but they all do count for credit once you enroll, pay the deposit, all that good stuff.
All right. So we talked a lot about PBA. what happens next, right? So I finished my PBA courses. I want to know what to do now. And this is a common question actually enrollment representatives get. But we always say, hey, you should, the university will be reaching out, and the university always does. So that always happens. Be rest assured that the university is always, whichever university you choose, they're always right behind us to answer your questions too. Okay. So this is the next step after you've done PBA. If you've taken the courses on Coursera Plus, you should register directly with the university, okay? Because now you want to get credit, right? With the university. So you register directly with them, right? All of your work will transfer over once you've paid tuition and linked your personal account, like your personal email from Coursera, and your new student account from the university. So there's a data transfer once you register and pay tuition with the university. Okay, be careful though, even if you finish the course on Coursera, it's more than likely that you'll have to take some sort of final assessment with the university. Okay, you'll take a final assessment for each course, each PBA course, either as a bachelor's or master's candidate, because now you're a university student. Okay, but again, all of this work will count for credit towards your degree. That's the brilliant part of everything, right? Be sure to pay attention to the requirements. As I said, each university is different, okay? You normally have to receive a certain grade or grade point average for the PBA courses for them to count towards admission. For example, Illinois Tech, who offers 4 PBA degrees, they have 4 different ones, very diverse, which is great. They expect you usually have to have a B or better in their PBA courses for them to count towards credit. But sometimes it's a grade point average, sometimes it's a B or better. It really, like I said, it depends on the university. So read very carefully or ask questions to the representative so you make sure you're very clear, on how to be admitted into the program.
So how can you decide which PBA degree is right for you, right? There's so many to choose from. Let's take a look and just at the universities that are on the screen. So each of these top accredited universities offer PBA degrees in partnership with Coursera. So these degrees will range from MBA degrees to data science. We have an MS in AI from Colorado Boulder right now. So just explore these degree options and don't hesitate to reach out to our enrollment team, who is eager to guide you through and find your best fit. So these are just a few of the logos that we have to represent these universities. Again, click that collections page in the link. You'll see each of the degrees that are under each of these universities. And like I mentioned, they're accredited. The curriculum is the same, if not identical, to what you would experience as an on-campus learner. It's just an online version, but you're taught by university professors that are from these universities. Your diploma will not say Coursera, it will not say online. Your diploma will be identical to what you would receive as an in-person learner. And we'll go through some of those common FAQs actually right now, and a lot of those that were submitted when you registered for this webinar today. So Carolyn, I think, is going to walk us through some of those FAQs.
Well, yes, thank you, Victoria. Yeah, these are common FAQs that you submitted. As Victoria said, enrollment representatives, we have no problem answering these questions again. But let's go over them now. So maybe you can answer different questions that are, more particular to you and to your situation when you do speak to an enrollment representative. So let's go over these FAQs. The first one, okay, money, right? That was our first barrier that we talked about. What are the payments involved in PBA or performance-based admissions, right? And this is what we, this is the answer. To access PBA for non-credit, you will need a Coursera Plus subscription for non-credit, okay? Then in order to receive credit for your PBA courses, you will need to pay the necessary tuition fees, okay? You'll pay tuition for the courses that you decide to enroll in, okay? The PBA courses. You will not need a Coursera Plus. You do not need Coursera Plus as an enrolled student. Just so you know, you won't need that unless you want to take other courses from other companies or other universities, okay? Let's look at number 2. What is the benefit of doing PBA versus a traditional application? I think you all know the answer to this one already, right? PBA can be a faster route of admission. And it doesn't require traditional GRE or GMAT scores. Remember, we talked about those testing centers. You also get a feel for the program and earn credit as you gain admission. That's, to me, those courses, you are getting credit and you're not even admitted yet. How brilliant is that, right? How many courses are in the PBA pathway? Okay, it depends on the university, as we said before. It can be anywhere from 1 to 3 courses. All right, we have some more questions, don't we, here? Yeah, oh, number 4. Okay, let me find, there we go. Sorry about that.
No worries. I'm happy to jump in, Carolyn, if you need a sec.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't you answer this one for us, Victoria? How long do I have to complete the PBA courses?
Yeah, no doubt. So it depends on the university, like most other things for PBA. There are a few things that are very structured that are, you always get credit, things like that. There are certain things we can say always about, but certain things do depend on the university. But it does tend to be pretty flexible alongside all the other things that we mentioned about flexibility for online learning. And it does allow you to take your time as you learn. I remember Mark in the video just before, he said his son might come in from a busy day of school and have something to tell him, and he can pause and resume 5 minutes later or resume 5 days later. It's kind of designed to be what works for you.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I really love to answer number 5. Can I do that?
Sure thing.
Perfect. What happens if I don't complete the PBA courses or don't pass with a passable grade? Oh, I didn't get that 3.0. Well, you can restart the courses at any time. That's nice, right? You can restart. However, you may have to pay tuition for the courses depending if you dropped or withdrew from the courses on time. So all universities have an academic calendar. You can always drop courses, withdraw courses. So each university, you have to pay attention to their calendar. You know, if you drop a class, you normally get a refund. But like I said, it depends on the university, okay? How about number 6? Let me see. Ooh, is admissions guaranteed after completing the PBA course? Let's see. Yes, in most cases, successful completion of PBA courses guarantees admission to the corresponding degree program. Provided though, now this is the caveat here, provided all criteria such as minimum grades, payments are paid, and you may be uploading your transcripts if those are required. So you have to pay attention to those others, but it doesn't, you need to get a certain grade in PBA, but also follow the other requirements that the university will send you.
Yeah, and again, a lot of the universities, they have different requirements, different rules. So where some universities may require a transcript, and there's actually a couple of master's degree programs that don't even require a bachelor's degree. So there's lots of different opportunities for different kinds of learners. And Caroline, I believe one of them is from Boulder that doesn't require a bachelor's degree. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn there, but all kinds of learners with all kinds of backgrounds are welcome to explore the different criteria for each program.
Victoria, you're correct, actually. All University of Colorado Boulder programs, they will not require you to send in your transcripts. They'll never ask for it. So it's strict, it's pure PBA. It's kind of amazing that check it out and you'll see the advantages of that too. Oh, we have some more questions. Can students start PBA as non-credit and then upgrade for credit admissions? Victoria, I feel like we should have put a quiz here because we should know this answer by now, right? We should be quizzing these students. Yes, this is something we encourage if you are unsure about pursuing a full degree. Start off at non-credit. You can take as long as you want to take the class, see if you like it, see if you like how the class is taught, right? So yes, try that out, right? Number 8, is the online degree any different from the in-person degree? This is a big question for enrollment representatives. The degree and diploma are exactly the same, okay? Whether you do it online or in person. So the physical diploma that you receive will be the same one often as on-campus students, right? And also a very important thing that many people ask and are worried about. The diploma will have no mention of online, PBA, or Coursera. As I said, oftentimes it doesn't, you receive the exact same diploma as the on-campus students. And with many universities, you can actually go to campus for graduation because you are a university student. You belong to that university. Do we have another question here? I think it's our last one, maybe. Oh, number 9. What should I do if I need more knowledge before I enroll in PBA courses? Good one. Coursera, I think Victoria mentioned this in the beginning of our webinar today. Coursera is your hub for upskilling. We're in the age of upskilling. That's a big word right now. We got to keep up, right? We got to keep up with industries, our different industries here. So Coursera is the hub to do that. That's where you can do all of this upskilling, right? Try out other courses on Coursera and skill up to prepare yourself for those PBA courses. And that way, you're not going to lose any tuition. There's not much danger in failing, right? If you've already seen the courses and you can see what the coursework will be.
Awesome.
Right.
So I know we have lots of questions in the Q&A, and thanks again to Katie, Sarah,
Sure.
Ryan, and Ada, who have been championing as many answers as they possibly can. In the last 5 minutes or so, Carolyn and I will see if there's any kind of overarching big theme type questions that we can answer. If not, I do again encourage you to book a meeting with us, and then we can answer your more specific question to you. I saw some questions about Boulder applications and things like that, or enrollment forms, I should say. If you do have those kinds of specific questions, please do book a meeting. They're working in all different time zones around the clock to try to help guide you to the best program for you and your goals. So Carolyn, I'm just going to kind of scroll through here and see if there's any ones we can go to.
Sure, I'd be happy to answer any questions live if they haven't been answered yet.
For sure. I have some questions about bachelor options versus master's options. I know there's a couple I can speak to, but if you're the expert, so if there's ones like PBA for bachelor's versus PBA for master's and maybe what those offerings are.
As far as, well, we do have, for example, Illinois Tech has a Bachelor of Information Technology. It's a bachelor's completion program, so it's designed for people that might have an associate's degree or close to an associate's degree, and they would like to, complete the program with Illinois Tech. You would take 3 PBA courses, and then you would also send in your transcripts for review to see how many courses would transfer. That's one example of a few bachelor programs that we have that uses performance-based admissions. And what was the other part of your question, Victoria?
Well, I guess master's programs. So Illinois Tech's one of our bachelor's programs. I believe University of London has some bachelor's programs available. And then many of the others are master's programs. So I guess that does answer the question.
Yeah, we have.
Awesome. There's a couple
sorry.
questions about graduation and if there's opportunity for in-person commencement.
Yes, yes. And that's exciting. And I always encourage people when they've enrolled and I've confirmed that they're online and they're studying as a university student, I always say, I hope I want to see you at the commencement ceremony. I wish I personally could travel to all the different universities and see my student at graduation. I believe, I would say all of our universities allow, they invite all of their online students to go to commencement on campus. What a beautiful thing. Yes, I highly encourage it. I hope people will go and are able to go.
Great. And then of course we have some questions about scholarship, tuition. I know there's a lot of knowledge out there on the Coursera platform about employer tuition reimbursement. So maybe we can just speak about many opportunities that you often will guide learners towards when they have questions like this.
Well, I always encourage people, I always ask, because a lot of people don't think about it. I should ask my employer to see if they'll pay for it. Even with bachelor's programs, I have found that if someone is proactive and they talk to their manager, their human resources people, and ask about it, they can get tuition reimbursement. And the key is when you do ask for tuition reimbursement, that you are always paying tuition to the university. You will always receive a receipt directly from the university to hand into your employer for reimbursement. So it is for a lot of employers, it's a no-brainer and it's already included in many, employee benefits. So please be proactive and ask ahead of time, and you might have your bachelor's or your master's paid for already.
Okay, this is a good one. So is it possible to take PBA courses as I have been out of school for over 20 years?
Of course. Yes. I mean, these programs are designed for people that maybe have just graduated from college and people that are in industry. A lot of the universities love having people that have work experience and more to add to the program just because of their life and work experience. Don't let time, out of school scare you away. Maybe 20 years ago, you weren't even able to learn online. So check it out, see what it's like, and see, the nice part is, I'm a little bit older myself, been out of school definitely 20 years or more. I definitely didn't get a chance to learn online, and I love it, right? I love learning online. I can tailor it towards I want to learn, at what time I want to learn. If I don't have a certain amount of, I can budget things the way I want to, or can, or I'm able to. So just try it out. And that if you're a little nervous about it, that's where Coursera Plus comes in, where you can just kind of test it out, see if you like learning online. And if you do, go for that degree, go for that master's, finish that bachelor's you've been waiting to finish for 20 or more years. Because it's time, right? Let's do it. Let's just all learn together. You're never too old. You're never too young. Let's all upskill on Coursera and finish our degrees.
Well, nothing else to be said after that. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Thank you everyone for joining today. Got lots of questions from all around the globe. There's tons of global learners learning with PBA on Coursera. I'm going to go ahead, just drop that link in the chat for the collections page just one more time so you can take a look at the programs that might be right for you. And thanks again to Katie, Sarah, Ryan, and Ada, who were here helping out with questions throughout the time. These are the people you'll be speaking to when you book the meeting. So thanks again for your time. And thank you, Carolyn, for being an awesome co-host. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Victoria. I really enjoyed it. I love talking about PBA. Yes, and thank you for shouting out the other enrollment reps here today. I work with them directly. We're always together. We love what we do. So please schedule a call and we'll be happy to help you.
Awesome. Thanks all. Take care.
Bye-bye.